Hello, I've just been to see the exhibition at the Serpentine North Gallery. It's called The Call, and the artists are Holly Herndon and Matt Dryhurst. You would call this a musical installation. It's using artificial intelligence and 15 professional choirs. And the artists are approaching AI as a creative instrument. And they seem to be viewing the artificial intelligence as what they call a kind of coordination technology, and that this is the next in a line of kind of coordination technologies. And what they're describing here is technologies that allow individuals to build things collectively, and they compare it to choral singing, which has a similar purpose. And I think that they're implying that choral singing is like a coordination technology. So they worked with 15 professional choirs around the UK, and they used the music they recorded as training data for these choral AI models that they built. And they're basically the models can basically make infinite music from this basic data. The work also addresses some questions about permission to use music when, in the case of an AI model, the legal issues. I mean, these are important issues, but I think this is a lot less interesting in terms of the kind of poetry of this work. I didn't find that particularly interesting. Also, the exhibition is laid out in terms of their process, the kind of the data creation, the interaction. And again, I found this less interesting than actually the music itself, the result of the collaboration between the artists, the choirs and the artificial intelligence. In one room, we're actually invited to sing using the AI model. Now, some of the reviews have been quite complimentary about this work. Time Out said that the choral compositions are sonically gorgeous. I'm afraid I didn't. This wasn't my experience. I found the music really flat. It just didn't really engage me. It's not that it's a cacophony, it is music, but there is an element of musicality, but it just sounded random. It really made me think of the Janet Cardiff work, the 40-part motet, and the work that she did with Boris Miller, The Murder of the Crows. These don't concern artificial intelligence, but they're dramatic musical installations that really are a fantastic experience. And so I was kind of comparing it to that, which perhaps is unfair. The gallery space is actually amazing. The old brick gunpowder store is really an ideal location for a musical work like this. But I just found the actual music disappointing. Now, let's be clear here. It's not that I'm against the use of artificial intelligence in art. I think I'm relatively progressive on this. I see massive potential. And I think that whatever the implications of artificial intelligence, it's inevitable. We can't stop it, and we may as well work with it. I've been working with it quite a lot in my art and in other areas of my life, and I just think it offers incredible opportunities. The most fascinating part of AI is the conversations that you can have with it, and I think in terms of art, it's most interesting as a collaborator. Now, this is relevant for this show because I think that Herndon and Dryhurst treat the AI as a machine rather than a collaborator. I think their concept is good intellectually, but the actual output just didn't move me emotionally, and that's what I wanted from this work. It's not just, I don't just want it to be an interesting concept. I think that, you know, the location, the good sound system they've put in place, I think they want this work to be emotionally engaging, but it didn't quite reach it. I do think that artificial intelligence can capture the essence of human expression. It just depends on how you work with it. I think that it can make poetry as a collaborator, but I think this work actually treats AI as a machine that just kind of replicates and remixes all this choral work. My feeling is that the music, there was just a randomness to it. Personally, I think they could have worked more with the AI to develop a bit more musicality in it, maybe some recurring motifs or tonal repetitions. I just felt the music needed more sense of unity, perhaps, of coherence in the compositions, a more deliberate musical narrative. I think that the AI was treated here as kind of an autonomous machine, and I personally think the work would have been better if the AI had been treated as a co-creator. One room is really interesting, where the viewers are invited to sing into a microphone that then, via the choral AI model, produces some music through the speakers in the gallery. It was kind of fun to try it. The output that came back wasn't very satisfying. I found it a little short and just a bit random. Again, it just didn't feel like it was taking me anywhere. This is my little attempt at trying it. Here we are singing Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Quite disappointing, I thought. I wanted this to kind of envelop me in sound and kind of take me away. Overall, the music in this installation feels less like a kind of transcendent choral experience and more like the output of a machine. The music has such a machine-made aesthetic for me, aimlessly working through these permutations, and perhaps it's a bit harsh, but it just felt void of soul or poetry. The concept is really good. I think they've worked hard to put together some good ideas. They're clearly exploring into interesting issues, but concept art can't be just a concept, in my opinion. There has to be some poetry. And AI definitely holds immense creative potential, but for me, this execution reduced it to randomness. The compositions were sterile and lifeless, and this was a failure of execution, not the potential for using AI in this way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.